All right, guys. We should be live. I'm going to go take a quick restroom break that I forgot to take before we went live, but you guys just hang out and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking tired. Been a long time since I've been this exhausted. Ooh. So, if I don't go live now, I probably won't. You know how a nap sometimes turns into just you're going to bed without you realizing it? Yeah. Just really out of it. What's up, She Warrior? Welcome in. Exotic, welcome back. I like that profile picture. Is there anybody in there? Is it in there or out there? Yeah, that's a good lyric. Jari, what's up? Exotic. What's going on, everybody? How's your weekend going? How was your weekend? I mean, it's pretty much over. Like, I am literally ready to pass. You know what? I still have my fucking golf shoes on. Oh, there we go. Let these puppies breed. There we go. That's better. Sorry if I sound all crazy. Got really bad allergies. My nose and my throat is itching like crazy. I call it hay fever. Shadow, what up? She Warrior, my weekend was busy. And plus, we have a flood. Or not a flood, but a leak. We had a leak in the upstairs toilet in the master bedroom. So we're waiting for it to get approved by our insurance. But in the meantime, they have like the roof downstairs ceiling cut out. All the tile from our bathroom is pulled up. The toilet's gone from upstairs. We have our shower. That's it. So we have to use the other two restrooms in the house. Can't use the one in our bedroom right now. So it's fucking chaos around here, honestly. Got to wait for the adjuster to come out here and fucking approve the insurance. Such a process, you know what I mean? It's a hassle, really. Good to see you, Cindy. What up? Cindy, Jari, Shadow, Exotic Prairie, She Warrior. What's up, crew? What is up? Happy Sunday. Did I tell you guys that the FBI called me about my Florifiers tip? I may have told you that. The last time we went live, I was drinking some champagne, so I'm not quite sure what happened. And I did have some Jaeger on the golf course, but not much. But I do still feel a little tipsy. More heartburn than anything. Does that shit give you guys heartburn? Okay, so who do we have lurking? Who's lurking out there? Lurkers. So I got a call from the FBI about, I think it was like 4 days ago. We had a long talk, which was great. It was good to see them working. And then I got a message today. I don't know if it's a relative of Jordan Sofer or not, but it was a grandchild of Robert Sofer. And she was kind of asking me like why are you talking about my grandfather like that? And I was like, well, what are you referring to? And then she kind of gave me a list of things. I was like, well, you might need to go talk to the detectives and I can show you the recorded calls, where he said that. She's like, okay. I was like, yeah, and I have the whole case file. If you need her case file, let me know. And if she's listening, you can come on the show anytime you want if you need to straighten anything out. That goes for anybody. Good to see you guys. Vix, what up? Welcome in, Vix. Anybody else out there lurking? You don't like Jaeger? If I have some sugar-free Red Bull, I can chase it. You get the real small bottle. You don't even need the whole bottle. Like a couple of those swigs back and forth, that'll give you a quick buzz. It's perfect for the golf course. I'm not big on beer. I feel like the older I get, that shit just kind of makes you like gassy or whatever. I don't want to sound like a bitch, but I mean, that's true. You get all bloated, and plus my stomach's kind of fucking janky anyway. When I was younger, I misidentified some mushrooms, I think. And I ate these mushrooms. And ever since then, it was just kind of like my stomach was a little off. And I know that mushrooms can really do some damage to your gastric. So, we live with our mistakes. Very stupid. Don't gamble with mushrooms. So I do want to give a big shout out to the FBI agents working the Flora Fires case. They called me. It was some time. Well, it really wasn't too long, maybe a month, I think, after I tipped in the information that I had, which of course was about the Atom Airs. I mean, I don't make a secret of it. I made a video about it. But they were very interested. We had a long talk about it. So whether it's related or not, you never know. The important thing is that they're following up on tips. And I'm sure mine was just next in line, right? They're going through these tips. So I was extremely pleased about that. She was very thorough, very thorough. She asked a shit ton of questions, like where are you coming from? Why are you even talking about this case? Oh, you're just a dumbass YouTube guy, one of those web sleuths. Like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's me. Hey, we can go places she can't. Exotic says, I belong to a senior golf club, so my handicap is under 20 on a good day. I got paired up with some really nice people. It was an Asian couple and their daughter. The daughter was English speaking, and well, they all spoke English, but they were mainly, you can tell they had a really strong accent. But it was a lot of fun. I played like shit, and so did they. That always makes me feel better. You don't ever want to be the only one playing like shit. That's all I got to say. Well, I'm Mexican. A large part of me, anyway, is Mexican. And I love spicy food. I always have. I used to be able to eat, you couldn't out hot me. I was one of them. But now that I'm in my 40s, it's like, fuck. It's like I can't do it anymore. I feel like I have like what is that called? An ulcer. Is that like an open sore in your belly? I swear it feels like that. And then when you turn 30, you get hit with indigestion for the first time. And then 40, it's like, oh, no more spicy food. Christine, you're late. Christine's late, guys. Brandon, you're late too. Brandon and Christine are late. Don't let them cheat off of you guys. Don't let them cheat off your paperwork. Don't help them. If they didn't bring a number 2 pencil, don't give them one either. I want them to raise their hand and explain why they're late. You got them explaining to do. Yeah, I really don't know how long this is going to be. I'm not sure how much energy I have. I'm feeling good so far. But man, when I got up to go to the restroom right now, I could barely walk. See, the thing is that my family went to the zoo and I was feeling kind of left out because I'm not really big into the zoo. So I said, hey, babe, just drop me off. I'll go to the golf course that I like to go to right there off the freeway. Drop me off there. And then when you guys are on your way back, just text me and I'll just leave early if I need to or hang out at the clubhouse or whatever. So I did miss out on a few holes. I think I had like 4 more to go, but fuck, I was already beat. So they went out and had fun at the zoo, and I went and played golf. Oh, speaking of golf, where's my breakfast burrito? I don't want that to go bad. Brandon says, sorry for my sorry. Oh, that's funny. So that's strike 1. Brandon. Next time your name goes up on the board. Shadow, what's going on? The fun of getting older. Yeah, it's very humbling. It's like the Bible says, right? Youth is vanity, and old age, I guess, should be humbling. Yeah, I didn't make it to the 19th hole, and I lost 2 balls. And I think I only drove over like 250 yards like one time. It was bad. My problem was I spent too much time practicing. That was the moral of what I was saying earlier. Family went to the zoo. It was like it's like a 6 hour trip. So that means I got 6 hours at the golf club, and it's only really 4 hours of playing, for 18 holes. So it was like 2 hours straight at the driving range. And I even took it easy. But doesn't matter. I still got 2 blisters. So I'm going to blame that as the reason I didn't do very well. Yeah, it's the blisters, I tell you. So what else is going on with you guys? I keep getting messages that YouTubers are talking shit about me. I think that's kind of funny. It's like, how lame is that? How much time have we ever really spent talking about another YouTuber? Oh, they must be mad. Somebody's mad that I blocked them. Get a life, buddy. You've been blocked. It's no big deal. You're not the only one. Join the club. Jump on the hate train. You're nothing special. You're just like all the others that have been blocked and I forgot about. So if you want to join on the hate train, go right ahead. But people are very nosy and they're always messaging me. So usually if you say some stupid shit and I find out about it, like a screenshot, I'll just block you too. People are not going to control me, and I'm not going to attempt to control you guys. We all know that every idea is welcome here. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Right? I don't care if you support Richard Allen. You can do that in a respectful way. Right? That's what the First Amendment is all about. When you're joining some kind of hate cult and you're no longer thinking for yourself, I can't take you seriously. So when I shed you like a snake sheds skin, don't get mad. It's okay. You're a big boy. You can big boy or big girl. Because apparently there's girl content creators and boy content. Or yeah, they are really they are boys and girls, huh? So I find it interesting that I get these weird emails like, look what somebody said. And then guess who's in the chat? And it's like people that have been hanging out with the Sleuth crew from the beginning. And it's like, oh, well, you're blocked too. Because we don't like two-faced people. That's the one thing that we're going to do here on this channel is we're comfortable being ourselves. It's like Frank Sinatra. If we can't do it our way, what is the point in doing it at all? So when you become some fake channel and you become desperate for content and you just try to appease these weird hate train people, part of the blocked crew, I call them the reject crew, the Sleuth reject crew. They usually jump on the hate train, right? They group together. Oh, you're blocked too. They just feel helpless. It's kind of like a psychopath. What does a psychopath do when he feels helpless? He tries to gain control. Well, when Sleuth blocked you, you felt you lost all control. So you felt helpless. How do you get back? How do you get that control back? You become a weird YouTube guy, a drama content creator. You're not the first and you won't be the last. That goes to all 3 of you content creators that I've been getting emails about. Bunch of weirdos. Yep, the block club. I haven't heard you ever talk about another YouTuber unless I drift off. It's very rare. It might slip out, you know. Every once in a while, you might hear me say something about Snay, or I think one time I brought up another channel, but it's just not worth it, you know. And the only reason I ever brought up Snay is because it was like relevant. It was part of the conversation. It was somehow relevant. I can't remember. Yeah, constructive criticism. And you guys have never heard me call anybody specific a fucking idiot, right? I call followers of ideas idiots, right? I show the idea that's stupid and I say, "Hey, if this is the shoe that you've put on your foot, you are wearing a stupid shoe." Right? If the shoe fits, you're wearing it. I've never called out anybody directly. So if you feel like I'm talking directly to you, I can't help that. All you can do is take that shoe and wear it. Got nothing to do with me, buddy or sister. Do stupid shit, win stupid prizes. Yeah, it's just funny. Like anytime you see another content creator lashing out, it's usually because they've been blocked. Like, how dare you block me? You didn't let me get the last word. It's like, no, because you don't exist anymore. Poof. You are now part of the reject crew. You guys can go talk bad about me together, right? Call me all the names, but everybody here knows what the fuck is up. We keep it fair, we keep it consistent, we keep it respectful. And a lot of these people that are in this crowd that come into my chat have been around for a long time. And the only reason some of you are no longer in this chat, or at least not visible, is because you're not real. You know, you've been caught out there being two-faced, right? Being like a chat whore. You're not real. Like I know the group that I'm looking at right now: Cindy, Exotic, Brandon, Darkside, CJK, She Warrior. All these people, Shadow, all these people are 100% real. They've been consistent from the beginning. Christine Robbins, real. 100% knows who I am, knows how shitty my channel was when I started and how much better we've become. And she knows that I didn't do that all alone. She was part of it. So there's nothing that you guys can do to break our will. Nothing. Right? You can compare us to Gray Hughes if you want to. We don't do none of that bullshit. We don't participate in attacking people. That's just not what we do. You can try to compare us, but that's just because you're mad. You got blocked and you're mad. But sorry, that's the price you pay. You know, when we stop, we take your luggage off the train and you get left at that stop. You get to go hang out with the Richard Allen lovers. People don't realize this, but the Sleuth Intuition channel, we have worked very hard at creating a certain kind of space. I don't want to call it a safe space, but kind of that's what it is. That's pretty much what it is. So not only do we welcome opposing opinions and different ideas, we love it. We thrive on it. Because the people who can provide opposing opinion and ideas and do it respectfully, they can coexist with you because they also know how to have fun. They know what it means to have a back and forth. They know that emotional intelligence is something that's key to understanding, right? And they're not hypocrites, right? The people that we hang out with in this channel are not hypocrites. They don't go into other channels or they don't go create content where they're bashing people that don't necessarily deserve it. Yeah, it might be a good point, it might be what you're saying, but really you're just feeding a group of people, right? You're attacking another content creator that your subscribers probably don't like. So you're just appeasing them. That makes you a whore. You are a whore for a group of shitty subscribers. But here, By remaining true to ourselves and doing things our way, staying consistent, staying respectful, and not getting involved in the drama, we don't have to worry about any of that. When you come in here with that negativity, we shed you like a snake sheds skin. And you're just left behind, right? You can take your luggage and you can take the next train. Kick mama off the train. Shout out to John Candy. You guys all know about John Candy, right?
Happy birthday!
Woo! Woo! There you go. Constructive criticism. Yeah, we don't have a problem being wrong. How many times are we wrong on this channel? If you're not wrong, you're not getting it right. I'll tell you that. If you're not wrong, you're not getting it right. Everybody on my channel knows that I lean on the chat. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have lawyers, we have truck drivers, we have white collar, blue collar, we have hardworking, we have disabled, we have Democrat, we have Republican, we have liberal, we have conservative, we have pro Richard Allen, we have pro prosecution, and everything in between. Cindy says, dang, Sleuth, whose feathers did you rile up? Apparently 3 content creators. I've gotten 4 emails over the last couple days. I got one today while I was playing golf. And it's just funny. It's kind of silly. But the truth is, if you're not triggering somebody, you're not doing something, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have little mama's boys and childish women getting triggered, you're not doing something right, right? Because that's what it is. It's out there supporting people like Richard Allen, Brian Koberger. Without anything to show for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with supporting a Richard Allen or a Brian Koberger. Oh, Eli. What up, Eli? Yeah, we dropped the mic. We dropped it. It's dropped. It's been dropped. Brandon says, I've been blocked from channels for the mildest comments. Honestly, I've done that by mistake. Like if I'm feeling all sensitive and somebody said something, I might misinterpret what they're saying and block them. But I just call that collateral damage. I'm trigger happy. Like I literally have my hand on the red button right now. Every time I read a comment, my hand's on the red button. I'm like, I dare you to say fucking something stupid. Right? We're very particular about what we do here. We're this channel is growing, but we're growing at a very particular kind of speed. Right? We're building an army of people who want to be here. Not people that are like, oh, I like the shit you were saying about Dan McCain. And then you stop talking about it and then they just kind of go away. Like we like subscribers and viewers who are into the whole thing, right? All the cases that we cover. Not to mention a lot of the stuff that we've done on this channel comes from the viewers, right? A lot of my moderators, they send me great emails. They send me cases. Julia got me an interview. And it ended up being a great, great experience. And when you guys send me cases and things like that, but the truth is deep down inside, I'm an artist, right? Everything I do is off inspiration. So you might give me a great case that might not be great right now for me personally, because everything I do is off that gut, that intuition, is the universe talking to me? Is there something that I can even offer? So I just kind of listen. If it speaks to me, I feel inspired. But sometimes even cases that have everything that I want to that makes it easy to touch on, right? A lot of visual evidence provided by law enforcement, 911 calls, a lot of coverage locally. Those types of cases are easy to cover because you have everything you need. You just play the content and you sit back. You just kind of sit back and just kind of go through the motions. I don't like doing that. I want to feel it. I want to feel it in my spirit. And if I don't, I struggle with it. But every once in a while, I get that email, and there's one of these cases that I've never heard about. And you just start going through the details and you just start seeing how it's been kind of wiped under the rug. And that really lights a fire underneath me because we're here in this world depending on law enforcement, prosecutors, defense attorneys, judges, politicians to ensure that we have justice when crimes like this happen. We depend on them. We can't get justice legally without them. And the truth is, they all suck. And there is no justice. So that's when the private sector, like you and I, needs to step up and do more and put pressure on them. Yeah, we're not professionals, but how are you going to feel when these non-professionals start showing results, right? You think they're going to pick it up a little bit, right? These people are getting smart with FOIA requests, getting under the skin of prosecutors and judges, ensuring that there's fairness and that we can see behind that veil. We're not stupid anymore, right? Fuck mainstream media. It's all about alternative media. That's you guys. That's us. Little candy, little candy. Cindy, I know of one I watched a couple replay on a couple weeks ago, and Sleuth getting bashed in comments, and creators seem to not notice or say anything. Yeah, they all want to act like they're victims of Sleuth, right? But you should see some of the screenshots, and you guys would be surprised by who was saying the things that they were saying. I was shocked. It's crazy that those people would come into my chat, and I would literally love them. I would say, man, it's so welcoming to see you here. And then I see like these screenshots where it's like, oh, it's just two-faced. It's like high school again. I don't have room for that. I want to be able to trust you guys. At least feel like I can. What's up, Peggy? What up? Testing, testing. I'm assuming you're testing to see if you're blocked. Someone was making a big deal about being blocked in the Sleuth chat. But I was conversation in that chat till the end of that live. How you get blocked, ma'am. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? If I don't do what they want in my chat and then things go sour, I got to get them out of there. I feel like I have a responsibility to you guys who are loyal to me, who are members, and who are people who hit the like button and comment all the time and hang out and have a conversation like Peggy. Like, I have a responsibility to you guys to keep things on track and to leave out these troublemakers. But the problem is when I get rid of them, because a lot of them are snakes and they don't realize that I see them from the get-go. The only thing is I don't ring any alarm bells. Rarely. But sure enough, that gut instinct that has kept me alive through some rough shit, that spider sense never fails me. It never fails me. And it's always these people, they put in the long days and hours, right, with the bullshit, blah, 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 trying to gain favor in a channel. But really, it's just fake. It's two-faced bullshit. As soon as they don't get what they want here, and then they get blocked for running their mouths, now they hate me. It's like, who cares if Sleuth blocks you? You're not a good fit. It's kind of like when you're working for a company and they're like, hey, man, we got to let you go. Well, why'd you let me go? Well, because you're smoking weed in the truck and you crashed into an old lady in a parking lot. Like, we're going to separate from you. You know what I mean? So if you're saying shit that I feel is just way off, you're not open to the discussion, you're not open-minded, you're not respectful, or you're just kind of being repetitive. Like if I can see your cycle bullshit kind of puking into the chat, you got to go. I'm sorry. You got to go. Ooh, we got a super sticker. How do I get to this? I used to be able to click on it up here. Hold on, I got you, Paul. Bam! Look at that. That's $10 right there. Hold on. You know what that means? Paul is the money bags. Thanks, Paul. That was very generous of you. $10 is a lot of money right now. A lot of money. Oh shit. Wife Lilith is in the building. Hope the baby and family are well. Yeah, he's doing wonderful. Went through the whole zoo experience today. My wife said he didn't get fussy one time. But she's a great mom. You know, she stays on top of everything. So I'm not worried about anything. Dark Side, I must have missed. Yeah, this is all shit that goes on behind the scenes, Dark Side. Don't. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to watch this live stream anyway. That's why we titled it Let's Talk Some Ish. Nobody cares. Alternative media is the best thing that's happened over the past few. Absolutely. And United States is what made that possible. We had some rocky patches with the stuff that was going on with Alex Jones and how he was getting banned. And I remember around that time that they were getting banned, I was like kind of starting my YouTube channel. And I was doing a live stream with my friend Bruiser, and we were talking about the pandemic and all of that stuff. And I got my first warning. It's still there. It hasn't gone away. Apparently, once you get this kind of a warning, that's it. Like you get that and then another warning, and then it's a strike or something like that. But it was a big deal. And all I really said was, I think we talked about, COVID or something like that. And people were getting kicked off of YouTube for that. That's not free speech. That's not right. That's wickedness. That's that's communism. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. Cindy says, but this one wasn't blocked. Was there till the end and they left comments after the show. No reason to block. But they're acting like they were blocked. Yeah, I got a bunch of screenshots, Cindy, of people you'd be surprised. And they were just talking shit about me. Like, oh, blah, 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 blah. He did this, he did that. I was just like, oh my God. And you wonder why I fucking block you. If I blocked somebody and they were like, yeah, he blocked me, that sucks, but I don't care, I would unblock them. Be like, that was my mistake. I didn't realize that you were a reasonable person. That's the reason I blocked you. I thought you were unreasonable. My mistake. And I've done that before. I've unblocked a lot of people. Exotic says, I wasn't able to have children. A chat said I had no business discussing crimes against children because I had no kid. That's fucked up. If anything, you're longing, to be a mother more than anybody. So you kind of deserve it more. You're kind of a victim of circumstance yourself, right? Not being able to have children. You must have like that emptiness there. So if anybody can talk about it, I think you should before most. Right? You can't have a child. You should be the one first in line talking about people losing their children. Like you can't even have a child. So it only makes sense that you would advocate for people who have lost children. To have something that you can't have and then to lose that. The one thing that, something that you might cherish or long for. So yeah, fuck them. That creator removes comments when he doesn't like them. Is that much different than blocking? Right? Control. That's silly. Because honestly, if I've blocked you, I don't care. I won't see you. I won't hear you unless somebody sends me like an email, which I do get chuckles out of, because I don't know. You guys are out there in those YouTube streets that I'm not on, that I'm avoiding. So to get reports about that stuff, I mean, it's helpful. What's going on, Mark? CJK is in the building. We're going to Rumble and yeah, Rumble actually there's a couple people that I watched on Rumble, but then eventually, they were brought back to YouTube, so I don't go to Rumble. I remember I think I checked on what the fuck is his name, Slow Joe or Crime Night or something. Somebody sent me a link, and I was like, "What is this Rumble?" And I clicked on it, and it was Crime Night. I was like, "Oh, that's where you went, you little slimy dog, you little slimy rat." Oh yeah, Brandon. They got all the data they need on us, and it's terrifying. Knowing how much you want a child and seeing people treat them poorly makes you an important advocate for them. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't agree more. Or even like if you've lost a child due to natural reasons like cancer or, something like some kind of horrible medical condition. Those people too, they need our support. Right? Because there's kind of an emptiness there too. It's like I lost my child, but I don't have a bad guy. Where's my bad guy? I don't get I don't get to put somebody's face on the dartboard and throw darts at it, unless, you want me to curse God, which I'm sure some do. There is no boogeyman. You know what I mean? There is no predator to hunt down and to chase and to consume all your energy, right? You just get depression. So I think those people need our support too. There's an emptiness there I can feel, you know. You can feel it in the air. I think he got thrown out of YouTube Crime Night. Yeah, he was a wacko. That dude was crazy. But man, was he entertaining. Remember that time he said something? What did he say? Oh, I can't remember. It was like he was gonna go blow up at the Abby and Libby ballpark. Like, this is how radicalized some of these people are, right? Richard Allen is so free, and the Freemasons are so guilty that I got to go blow up Abby and Libby's ballpark. Yep. And there's literally a group of people that are agreeing. Wife Lilith with the super chat. You know what that means. Money bags. Lilith says, have a good night, y'all. Doesn't look like she can hang out. That's too bad. Wife, catch us in the replay crew. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you, too. She donates to my channel all the time. Sleuth, you're one of the very few content creators I have respect for or listen to. I really appreciate that. Means a lot to me. Keep sleuthing, y'all. Hell yeah. Couldn't stop at this point if we wanted to. It's who we are now. It's what we do. Oh, and I had bees the other day. We had a bees that some entire hive just landed on the side of my house and went into the hole that a woodpecker dug, and they just made a home there. So I called this beekeeper out, and he was like, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be easy for you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Bees?" He's like, "Bees are my life. That's what I do." And when he said that, I kind of thought to myself, I was like, "Yeah, true crime. That's what I do. That's what we do around here. All things true crime. He does bees, we do true crime." Exotic says, "I served on 2 juries. Cases involved parental rights. Attorneys told me having no children was why I was picked. So that's something." Yeah, you see how you're used? Used like a weapon. Something that they think they can just easily break you down psychologically. People think that they can tell who you are just by a few answers on a questionnaire. People are complex, and some people are very critical. Like for instance, the let's take the Delphi case. Brad Weber's testimony. He's very smart. He's a very critical man. If you listen to him and how he fucking punked Baldwin, like Baldwin would ask a stupid question and he'd be like, "No." And he'd be like, "Well, what do you mean no? The deposition said." He says, "Well, it wasn't on that date. Like I never went to the police station. They met me." And the question was, "So when did you go to the police station?" Brad Weber was like, "I didn't go to the police station." "Well, what are you talking about? You're lying. I'm gonna impeach you. I'm gonna impeach you on that." He's like, "Well, go ahead." "Well, you told me you talked to police." "Yeah, I did. I did talk to police multiple times." "Well, wait, I'm confused. I just said, when did you go to the police station?" Right? The critical mind says, "Well, I never went to the police station. You know, I met with law enforcement outside of the police station, you fucking idiot." All right. Fair enough. And then more of that bullshit just continued on through the entire trial. Peggy says, "Did they relocate the bees?" No, because apparently it wasn't a whole hive. So he says because it was so early, they could kill all of the scent or whatever around the hole. And then, like, after a couple days, they'll just kind of stop coming to that hole and find somewhere else. So they never set up shop. They didn't, like, there was no honeycomb there. There wasn't anything to really move. There wasn't like a queen. There wasn't honeycombs. There wasn't like anything to do like that. So they just kind of did preventative measures. CJK says, "Sadly, too many aren't people of character in any part of their life." Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they would have relocated. Like literally, if it was an old hive or on the outside or the inside, they would have cut out my entire wall and relocated those bees. "When did you shoot him?" "I shot the clerk."
What? At what point did you shoot the clerk?
I shot the clerk.
Yes, when did you shoot him?
I shot the clerk.
Hey, Dean, we need you.
He confessed. We have a confession. Bad actors, what up? I've heard that Baldwin and Mata want some sort of movie deal. Oh, geez. That's why they keep the free Ricky BS going. Hey, you know what? Don't hate the players, hate the game, right? If you don't like what those two are doing, then you need to rethink the whole system because our justice system is shit. It's disgusting from top to bottom. The way we select juries, trash. The things that we allow attorneys and prosecutors to do, trash. The ignorance of a lot of these judges, trash. Like if you're going to be able to decide the fate of people's entire rest of their entire lives, man, we need to set the bar a little bit higher. This shit is not right. There needs to be more studying about how our system is operating and how we can fix that. Because, man, this is it's just trash. Brandon, Lil Joe is a unique. That dude is fucking weird, man. Did you guys ever watch? One time I was watching his channel and he was in a suit. He was in a suit and he was like sitting in his little apartment or something. I don't know what it was. It's like his little loft or something. Let's say almost look like a studio apartment. But he got himself in a suit and he was like acting like an attorney. That was the greatest shit I had ever seen. It was golden. Peggy says hornets can all die. Oh, I hate hornets. I've been attacked by them so many times. Yellow jackets, hornets, all of them. Wasps, fuck them. But yeah, bees are cool. They hang out in my garden all day. I have a big patch of basil, and it's got flowers all over it. Bees love that shit. Yeah, they don't bother me. Peggy says, "Oh hell no, I am not a free Ricky person. I am a check the government. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck them. They are trash. We need to overhaul everything, top to bottom, and protect people's civil rights person. If that means he walks, blame the government. Absolutely. That even goes for some type of fruit of a poison tree scenario to get to Rick Allen. But I think there's something much more nefarious going on there. But yeah, I agree with you, Peggy. Absolutely. So I get it if some people are saying, this guy's been railroaded. I mean, look at the opposition. I get that. But you have to also look at the facts with that case. Because the truth is we cover a lot of cases on this channel, and a lot of you don't watch any of that content. A lot of you don't watch the YouTube live streams that we do about people being falsely convicted. You guys don't tune into that. All you care about is if it says Delphi in the title. But you guys don't ever tune into the false confessions and how that happens and how people are exploited. Nobody tunes into any of that. So nobody really knows the depth of what we do here. But the crew knows, right? The crew knows. The only thing that a lot of you outsiders know is what you see during the Delphi live stream. But that's really only part of what we do on this channel. You can't blame us for that. But the real Sleuth crew knows what we've done and how much we've accomplished and how much we've grown. Not only as people, but as sleuths, online investigators, our ability to communicate with law enforcement, our ability to communicate with victims and victims' families and advocates and private people that are out there, private investigators, people that like to help on search parties, people that like to make it their business to mobilize when bad things happen to innocent people. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to be. That's it. And if we have to slap a few mosquitoes from time to time, so be it. But I just want you guys to know, any content creator out there running their mouths about us, it's because I blocked them. That's it. They can say whatever they want. They could try to put some kind of psychological profile behind it. But the bottom line is they're just projecting their own bullshit. They don't realize how apparent it is and how obvious it is. And maybe it isn't to some of you, but to me, it's 100% obvious. It's like, move on. You don't have to try to create some scenario where I'm the bad guy. Just move on, you little crybaby. That is true. All you crybabies need to move on. Because nobody that hangs out in my channel thinks that I talk shit to anybody. You're never going to show me a video clip where I'm literally trying to hurt somebody's feelings. where I'm trying to hurt somebody personally. You're not going to catch me doing that because I don't do that. But you can go ahead and try to create that image because you got blocked and you're a crybaby. Go cry into your pillow with your little tissue and leave it at that. And then put on your big boy pants and come back out to the game. You don't have to become a conductor of some kind of a hate train. You know how many hate trains I've seen over the last 4 years? It's all the same. These types never change. Sleuth blocked me. Let's all jump on this train and talk shit and try to defame him. But nobody cares about you, man, because that's all you've turned into is a drama channel. Only people that are tuning into that is a small group of drama-fied people. They're not there for true crime. They're not there to advocate. They're not there to learn. They're not there to be innovated. They're not there to correct, right? I love that. I love it when people in my chat say, "Nope, Sleuth, you're wrong." And then they give me a detailed reason why. If it sounds stupid, I'll be like, "Well, that sounds stupid." But the majority of time, I stand corrected. And a lot of you stand corrected sometimes too. And I'm like, "Nope, here, let me tell you why you're wrong." And you guys are open to that. That's why I love this. That's why I continue doing what I'm doing. And that's why I still have hope for what we're doing here. Because some of you out there are really great. And then there's some of you who are really manipulative. And you're just YouTube chat whores. And I'm not saying women as whores. I'm saying all men and women. You really go out there and try to whore it, if I'm using that word correctly. Right? And some of these content creators are whores for their shitty subscribers. Like, first of all, if you keep your chat clean, you will never have to mold yourself into a piece of shit. Because you don't have pieces of shit trying to mold you and to create you in their image. You have a bunch of critical thinking, smart people from all across the world, from all walks of life, all different types of intellect. It's very important. CJK. Any argument should be able to hold up to questioning. Absolutely. If you can't, the thing is this, bad actors, there has to be a reason why you believe something, right? You have to be able to articulate your standing and your position, right? And if you can't do that, that means that you didn't do the research and you didn't even do enough looking on your own. So how are you convinced? So if you're not convinced, that means you have an outside motivating factor for why you're saying these things. Typically, that's an echo chamber or some kind of online cult. These people lose who they are as individuals and they start feeding the trolls. You feed them. And the thing is that I'll call them rats, right? The Pied Piper, you know, he kind of controls the rats. Well, sometimes these rats will elect a rat king. But what these rat kings don't realize is that they're only being elevated because soon they will be sacrificed and eaten in front of the rest of the rats. That's all you are. You're a temporary rat king. There is no permanent rat king. So when you lose yourself, you lose your own character, you lose your own moral high ground, and you start appeasing the rats and they start lifting you up and you're like, "Hey, I'm the rat king. Yay. Yeah, support Richard Allen." You start doing all these weird things that you normally wouldn't do. It's because you love the attention. You're the rat king. But I got news for you. The rat king doesn't stay very long in that little castle there. So good luck with that. Because once they eat you alive, there's no coming back. You've already sacrificed yourself. You've already laid it all out on the pulpit. So enjoy your throne now, right? All these weird, evil people. "Oh, fuck the patties. Fuck these guys. Fuck these YouTubers. Blah, 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 blah." Right? All just lifting up the giant rat king. Well, they're going to eat that rat king alive. And I've seen it happen time and time again. And I know it sounds cruel, but when they eat the rat king, I can't help but say I told you so. And I can't help eating a little bit of popcorn while it's happening. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. What's the motto? MOTTA. What's the motto? The more I look at stuff, the more sure I am that Richard Allen is guilty and did it alone. Well, the thing is, if Richard Allen's innocent, you have to talk about his confession to Walla. You have to talk about the data, the detailed data that was taken from Libby's phone. And then you also have to talk about the testimony of Brad Weber, right? How are you going to ignore that? You have to address that first. If you want me to listen to you, you have to discuss the hard truths first, right? I don't want to hear any of your speculation. Yes, circumstantial evidence is important. We can talk about that, but speculative and all of this weird conspiracy stuff, I love a good conspiracy, but you can't say I'm supporting Richard Allen and he's Bay and I love him and fuck the Patties and I love Kathy Allen. And then you still can't answer those simple questions. You can't give the truth. That is you being part of a cult. You should be able to stand alone and show your receipts and say, this is why I stand here, because I'm standing on solid ground. I'm standing with facts. I have receipts. I can combat you at every turn. This is why I have such a strong belief. But when you break that down, they crumble and they don't care because they're not in it for Richard Allen. They're in it for the weird cult that has been developed around that idea. It's comforting there. I could see how it could be fun there, right? You have all these people just kind of hanging out, talking about the same shit, and you don't have any moral compass. You really don't care, right? You're so delusional that it's all just seems like entertainment to you. There's no human aspect to it at all. So it must be fun to play around in there, right? Yay, let's go to the free Richard Allen playground. I wonder who's on the slide today. Oh, look, it's little Joe. It's crime night. He's pushing people on the swings. Hey, isn't he the one that wanted to blow up the park? Oh, yeah. But he's my friend. We all say the same thing together. He lets me talk in his chat. He doesn't block me like Sleuth. Sleuth is an evil, bad man. Why? He didn't listen to me. Oh, was he mean to you? No. Well, why do you hate him? Well, I tried to show him something and he didn't look at the email I sent. So then I just started spamming his chat. And then he blocked me. Fuck him. Both sides? What sides? Are there sides? What are the sides? I think just saying sides like that is like kind of a weird position. It should just be you. Stephanie, how you doing? Caught the tail end of this thing. I'm trying to hang in there, guys. Do. Jari, you got to have something that backs what you're saying. You need receipts. And sometimes what you're saying could be a very good theory. And sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? Agree to disagree. But to ignore like common sense, it's kind of weird. To me, that shows there's ulterior motives, and the truth isn't one of them. And I know some people say, oh, well, is that your truth or their truth? No, I'm saying any truth. The thing about the truth is the facts are how they exist, right? The scientific method can be replicated, repeated anywhere. It could be repeated on fucking Saturn, Jupiter, on the moon, in another dimension. Well, probably not another dimension because physical laws might be different. But that's why they call it the scientific method, right? Somebody can't tell you that 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 because it does. No matter what, it does. The decision for no cameras in the courtroom in Delphi case created more distrust. I agree. I agree. I agree with that. If Richard Allen wasn't guilty, then he shouldn't have confessed a lot of times. Pretty simple. Well, he shouldn't have confessed clear mindedly to his wife twice and then his doctor, and then not try to take it back and not try to provide, like, he didn't provide his alibi. And the one person that he was with, his mom, right? He went to go visit his mom. Why didn't she testify? Because she's not going to perjure herself. But nobody's talking about that, right? Nobody's talking about that. They just hate Jerry Holman and Nick McClelland so much that they're blinded by it. They don't realize that both things can be true, right? Richard Allen can be guilty and definitely have a part in this, and then all those guys can completely suck ass, which they do. My opinion, Brad Weber changed the story, and I am basing that on Holman's deposition. Well, Holman isn't Weber. Holman is only taking notes. Holman is not Brad Weber. If you need to learn anything about Weber, go to him. If that's how you operate, that's fine. But in my opinion, that's flawed. If I wanted to know something about Peggy O, should I go ask Darkseid about it? Oh, Darkseid wrote a whole deposition about what Peggy did. Who knows more about you, Peggy? Is it Darkseid's deposition or you? Which one should I ask? Should I ask Holman about Brad Weber, or should I ask Brad Weber about Brad Weber? Miss Doglover, what up? How you doing? Ah, see, that's what I like. Sending it right back, Miss Doglover. I love positive energy. I can feel it too. Thank you. Right back at you. Right back at you. Release everything to be as transparent as possible because transparency builds trust. Yeah, there was definitely something going on in that courtroom. They could have been covering up the Keegan Klein stuff. They could be covering up for somebody that else was involved, right? Gull could have been involved in it. Nick could have been involved in it. But what all you people forget when it comes to conspiracies, a good conspiracy, everybody's in on it, right? So that means Brad and Andy would have been right in there. And remember, Gull picked those two. Could all be a horse and pony show. Doesn't mean Richard Allen's innocent. It just means that they might have their own motivating reasons, motivating factors for lying or covering up certain parts, right? And that could be what you're sensing in your gut. Like, these guys are corrupt. They can be corrupt, and they could be trying to make sure that Richard Allen is found guilty because they know he's involved. They know all the players, but for whatever reason, they're covering up for parts of it. Maybe something they did wrong. And what you said earlier, Peggy, is yeah, if they did something wrong and illegal, they need to suffer the consequences for that. That's not our fault for uncovering it. They owed it to Abby and Libby to do everything by the book and to do everything that they can. And they didn't do any of that. Right? They knew about Richard Allen from the beginning and did nothing. So if you want my opinion and my gut, that's what they were hiding. The reason that they hid Richard Allen from the beginning is the corruption. They're trying to hide that. And that's what led to this whole lost tip. Yeah. Well, CJK, if you want them to stop, just ask them why. Like, why? Yeah, but if you want to know something about me and I lie, okay, so are you a liar? How do I know that if I ask Jerry Holman, he didn't lie? So now you have somebody telling a lie about somebody that might be lying. Now you got two people that might be lying. If I come to you, I only risk one person lying. Why do I need a third person there? 100%. When is the conspiracy theory part of the cover up? Yeah, exactly. To me, that is the conspiracy. I think you're spot on regarding covering up the lost tip. Yeah, absolutely. Either they didn't want it to be found, or once they found it, they had to arrest Richard Allen and they had to kind of quarantine it, right? Because if you have Richard Allen and you know other people are involved, but you can't prove it, you can't give that's food for the defense team. They're hoping you would do something stupid like that. Go ahead and tell me that, that these people were involved. I dare you. Because it takes away from Richard Allen. If you just have a solid case about a single solitary opportunistic killer, it's open and shut because you have proof that he was involved. They proved that he was involved, but did he do it alone? I don't think he did. But if you start throwing out theories in that courtroom, you have to be able to back it up, right? That's the one thing that people who are talking true crime don't realize. Law enforcement, they have this overwhelming obligation to truth, right? Or if not, they need to be able to hide it. They need to have an angle. Every angle needs to be covered. And if you go into a trial and you start talking about other people involved and this, and that, it's going to take away from the strength of your case. So even if other people are involved, right? They did their damnedest to try to connect Kagan Klein and his father. The dude even confessed. Yet his name wasn't even uttered during the trial. Think about that. There was a man who confessed to participating in the murders of Abby and Libby. He took everybody that's involved in the investigation down to Delphi, telling them exactly what he did, who he was with, and what happened. Now imagine that this guy wasn't mentioned one time during trial. That's not interesting to you? So you have the defense team going after Odinism, and then they start touching on Kagan Klein towards the end, like almost as like just to kind of shake things up to see what the prosecution would do. They didn't follow up on that. Why not? Why would you stay away from Kagan Klein if you're defending Richard Allen and you know in your heart of hearts that they're not connected? Why wouldn't you just be like, this motherfucker confessed? Go after him. I don't know why the bullet matches. Shit, maybe this guy planted it. He's the same age as his daughter. Shit, maybe he knows her somehow. Brandon, exactly. Right? Well, Brad Weber testified. He's lying, Your Honor. I'm not lying, Your Honor. Yes, he is. He could be. Jury, I don't want anybody listening to Brad Weber. He could be lying. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're lying. They're still the source of their information. You can't have somebody say, oh, well, Brad Weber's lying about his truth, unless you can prove it, right? If you can't prove it, all you have to go on is what somebody says. That's why they're under oath in a trial, right? You put the hand on the Bible and says, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And if they don't, right, then they're going to hell. In the OJ trial, it's possible Mark Furman did plant the glove to make sure he was found guilty, but it backfired. Yeah, see, that's horrible. That's fruit of a poison tree, right? You don't give somebody that's dying of poison. Well, I guess take that back because that's kind of what anti-venom is. So we'll go ahead and hit the brakes on that. I was about to say you don't give venom to somebody who's taking venom, but really I meant poison, right? You don't give poison to somebody who's drinking poison because that's a double dose. All right, guys, I think I'm done blabbing on. Thought it was just funny. Thank you guys for sending me those emails. And if you're blocked from the channel, you know why you're blocked. Don't try to act all dumb. Don't try to act like Sleuth is mean. Just put on your big boy shoes, your big girl shoes, and get on with life. Who cares? Why do you're not Sleuth crew material. So why would you want to hang out here, right? we're going to go ahead and we've chose to separate, right? We no longer need your services. Now, if you get fired from a job, do you just go hang out in the parking lot and yell at people when they come out? Like, fuck this place. My manager's a douchebag. No, you don't. You put on your big boy pants, you get your resume together, and you go get a better job. You don't sit there and cry like a little crybaby. Sleuth is so mean. Nobody believes that. Nobody cares what you have to say. They already know what we do here. The only people that are even watching those idiots is the Sleuth Crew rejects. It's okay. Not everybody makes the cut. It is what it is. You didn't make the team. No big deal. There's other teams out there. Go wear that jersey. You can't wear these colors. Right? You lost that privilege by being a two-faced individual. That's usually the quickest way to get booted out of here. Just being two-faced, trying to re-victimize family members that have lost people to true crime, and then just being just mean to each other or being obsessive. We don't like that shit. Just be chill. Just be cool. Good to see you, Dark Side. Brandon. And that second half includes Alan incarcerating himself. I mean, honestly, imagine fighting for a man and saying, "Oh, I'm fighting for him and his family. He didn't kill those girls." And then you ask him, "Well, what's his alibi?" Well, he doesn't have an alibi. So how do you know that he didn't do it? Just ask him that. And then you can just sit back and wait and listen to all the weird shit. Sometimes they'll say, "Well, Judge Goal this, Judge Goal that." You're like, what the fuck? What does Judge Goal have to do with what I just asked you? Well, Judge Goal didn't let in the Odinism. Okay, well, what about the evidence? How do you know that fucking Rick Allen is an Odinist? Right? How do you know that he didn't put runes? And how do you know that he didn't do a bloat? Well, I didn't find anything on his computer. Oh, okay. Wow. So if you committed a murder and you were trying to hide it, you're going to just keep your computers. You're just going to keep your phones with all the evidence on it? I bet you would. Well, Rick Allen didn't. He was a little bit smarter than you. He got rid of all of that or didn't create it to begin with. Some people are able to keep it separated. Got to keep them separated. All right, guys, that's going to do it. If you have anything to follow up on today's discussion, you can shoot me an email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the Cash App. That's great. If you can't, hit the like button. Think about sharing. Consider becoming a member. And if you have any ideas for the channel or something that you think would be a good fit, run it by me. Let's take a look. Let's go over the schematics. Right? Let's dig on in. And the rest of you, Dark Side, Peggy, always good to see you. Brandon, my dude. Exotic, good to see all of you new Sleuth Crewers. CJK, Christine, Ajari, Miss Dog Lover, and everybody else that I may have missed. She Warrior, Cindy, Stephanie, YouTube Bad Actors, and everyone in between. Thank you so much for being part of the Sleuth Crew. And it's okay. You Sleuth Crew rejects, it's no big deal. You know, there's other teams out there. You just can't wear this jersey. It's no big deal. Why would you want to be anywhere that you're not welcome? You don't need to go create a hate train and put a bunch of fuck Sleuth Crew stickers on the side of it. It just makes you look fucking weird. You know, we're going to be good over here regardless. So It is what it is. Everybody else, it's been great. Oh, Vix, you too. Sorry I missed you. And those 2 donations today, very generous of you guys. It helps a lot. You know what I mean? This channel does not make any money or anything like that. I think we made like maybe $300 last month. Like, yeah. So we're not really in a position to be calling anybody a dying channel, but we're still growing. You know what I mean? But financial support is kind of dropped off, but that's no big deal. We're in this for the long haul. The support does help, but that's not going to stop us from covering cases like Emily Pike and Chelsea Grimm and Amanda Nenegar, Jordan Sofer, the Delphi case, the Flora fires, Evansdale, and all of these cases that have been swept under the rug. We're going to continue to fight. We're not going anywhere. And we ain't got nothing to prove to anybody. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.